Hello, hello. Welcome in, everyone. Why is every time my model's face tracking is messed up? I apparently need to check that every time because it keeps disconnecting. That's annoying. Anyways, good morning, everyone. Or good day, good evening, wherever you're at. We're having a nice working stream today. I'm gonna start prepping for NaNoWriMo, which for me is starting next month because I'm starting 2 weeks early because I'm gonna lose 2 weeks. So yeah, this is my first time doing like actual beforehand prep for a novel, so I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm kind of making it up as I go. So we're gonna start by just going through the like prep document worksheet thingy that NaNoWriMo has. That's what we're gonna start with today. I have no idea how long this is gonna take. I glanced at it, but we'll actually read through it. We probably won't. I don't think I'll like actually fill it in at all today. I'm just gonna read through it, and then I'll probably like pick and choose things that I will use probably next week. So yeah, basically my goal today is to start getting like a list of kind of like, basically I'm trying to make my own worksheet essentially. So I'll probably take some things from this worksheet and then make some of my own like questions I need to answer, and then I'll write those up. And then probably next week I'll start kind of filling in the worksheet, planning out my novel and world building. I think that's what I think's gonna happen. We'll see how this goes. Every other story I've written up to this point, I basically just started writing. I didn't really do any like serious world building or even prep beforehand. I'm gonna try this time, so we'll see how this goes. But yeah, so that's the plan. I'll get some music on, and then yeah, we'll just read through this, see what's up with it. And yeah, that's my plans. Let me get some background music on. Okay. Oh. Helps if I unmute. There we go. Keep it relatively quiet, because I will read through parts of this anyways. I might not read it word for word, but we'll read through it. Welcome in, Mick. Yes, you can see my abs now. I mean, you could a little bit in my previous model. Like, that model technically had a crop top also, but yeah, it was a longer one. Yes. Nice abs this time. Okay. I made a mistake of putting gum in my mouth right before a stream. I don't know why I thought that was a good idea. Anywho. And I have nowhere to put it. That's fine. Okay. I really don't know why I thought that was a good idea. Okay, let's see. One moment. I need to spit my gum out. Because I am a professional and prepared streamer who thought through this situation. One moment. Okay, that's better. I'm not tripping over a piece of gum now. How am I doing? I am doing pretty good. I'm a little scattered this morning, apparently. But I'm doing good. Yeah. Should be a good day. I'm excited to start. I'm excited to start writing stuff again. Because I haven't, like, properly written anything for Probably at least a month now. I'm excited to get writing again. Okay. Yeah. Let's see what we've got here. I think this basically just describes... Well, I guess I can read this. So you want to write a novel? Well, you've come to the right place. NaNoWriMo, aka National Novel Writing Month, is a fun, seat-of-your-pants approach to creative writing. Valuing enthusiasm, determination, and a deadline, NaNoWriMo is for anyone who has ever thought about writing a novel. We challenge participants to write a 50,000-word novel. That's not what that says. A 50,000-word first draft of a novel in 1 month. Alright, thanks for stopping by, and I hope all your stuff gets taken care of quickly and easily, and that you enjoy it. And yeah, just have a good rest of your day, good rest of however many days until I see you again. Okay. I know that sounds intimidating, but it's a tried and true method that has helped thousands of writers accomplish their creative dreams. Not sure where to start or need extra help? Our Nano Prep sources are here to inspire, challenge, and help you prepare to start writing. Here we've collected our favorite tips and resources to help you with your novel prep, and we've divided them into a suggested 6-week structure leading up to November, or whenever you start writing. You can choose to do one section or all of them. You can do every activity, skip around, blah blah blah. Cool. And yeah, I'm not gonna do their 6-week structure, partially because I don't know if I even have 6 weeks left for when I'm starting writing. Yeah. Table of contents. Yeah, develop a story idea. Very complex, believable characters, construct a detailed plot or outline, build a strong world for your characters, organize your life to support your writing goals, and find, schedule, and manage your time. Yeah, nice mix of things. It's I find it kind of interesting that, like, world building part, section 4, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, I guess I did kind of. I guess you would probably develop the plot and characters before the world. Okay. Okay, so the first section is about developing a story idea, which, I mean, to be honest, I probably have skipped this anyways, because I have the story idea. But let's see what they say for suggested ways to develop a story idea. 4 ways. Number 1 is borrow a plot. First, write a summary of 3 books or movies or stories you love, including important characters, plot turns, and settings. Okay. Yeah, basically you like analyze a stories you already like. So then you choose, so you write the summaries of the pre-existing things, then you choose one of the summaries and start changing around different parts. Character, setting, plot turns, adjectives, verbs, anything else you like. See where those changes take you and keep writing when you get inspired. And they provide an example. Like this one, I went from a dystopian US to islands with pirates. Okay, so that idea isn't done yet, but So let me give you space to do that. This is pretty, like, so far I like this worksheet. It's very well designed. Okay, so then so that was one method, I guess. Second method is to borrow a character. Invent a history or future for someone. Maybe it's a friend you lost touch with after college, a teacher you had, a family member you've heard stories about, or just someone you've seen in photos or on the bus. Interesting. So it's like basically turn a real person into a character. So you do things, write down things like who is the person that intrigues you? What was their childhood like? What do they dream of? What was their greatest desires? What obstacles do they face? What was their greatest triumph? Finally, since most novels aren't someone's entire life story, unless you're like me and get over excited and essentially write their whole life story. There's a reason my current novel that's still a work in progress is so long. It's not technically their whole life story. It's like 30 years of it. It's a very long story. Anyways. Right, finally, since most novels aren't someone's entire life story, you have to find the story. What part of the imagined life has the most drama, the most ups and downs? A moment of adventure, or possibly of danger, when things changed. Remember, you're inventing this person, so feel free to go wild. Okay. That's an interesting idea. You like make a character based off of a real person. Which I guess makes sense. For me personally, I don't think that method would work very well for me. Because that just... I don't know. Writing fictional stories about like real people just feels kind of weird for me. I mean... I don't know. I guess historical fiction is kind of cool. Can be, but I don't know. Writing fictional stories, especially about living people. I don't know. Like, no hate to people who do it, but it's like, it's not my cup of tea. Hey Dead Choice, welcome in. How you doing? We are going through the NaNoWriMo prep worksheet thing to see what they suggest for prepping for NaNoWriMo, and then I'll, you know, make my own worksheet based off of it. Because this section I've kind of done already. This is the develop a story idea, but I already have a story idea, so that's okay. Okay, method 3, news you can use. I know that feeling. Head fried, but hey, at least you got your work done. But yeah, I've definitely had those days where it's like I get all my work done and then I'm like, I'm soup for the rest of the day. The worst part is when like I turn my brain to soup before like noon, which I've done before. Especially on like Sundays, because I get up, I like plan my, well normally, I plan all my streams for the week, and then I make all of the YouTube thumbnails and schedule tweets, and so I do that all within like 3 hours, and I'm like hyper focused, and then my brain is soup. Hey, thank you so much for the follow, Matthias. Welcome in. And yeah, thanks for the follow. It means a lot. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Okay. Number 3, which is like, I think it's like method 3. Okay. Pick an event from the news. Imagine it from... Ooh. Oh, I like this one. This is just good writing prompt. Pick an event from the news. Imagine it from the perspective of different people involved with it. So a story about a river flooding might include a single mother driving her 2 kids on a camping trip. The park ranger called in to help. Blah blah blah. Feel free to use the basics of the news story for inspiration, but make up your own details. Change place, time, people involved, etc. Okay, that's a cool writing prompt. You've been writing and trying to fix more code. Very nice. Really need to do more coding again. I miss coding. Maybe some point. I don't know. I need to focus on getting this novel prep. So hopefully, if I get all my novel prep done quickly, I might be able to do some coding on stream this week. Or not this week, this month. We'll see. Yeah. So this is a really cool writing prompt just for like a short story thing. Okay, number 4. A whole new world. Both of these photos until you find one that sparks something for you. And pause and write your I cannot talk right now. Then pause and write your questions, wonderings, and ideas. Okay, let me... Okay. Basically, these are just... Okay, that's cool. They're just websites full of pictures of funky places. Weird places. 20 seriously weird places around the world, 50 weirdest places around the world, and abandoned places. It's also a good writing prompt. Okay, and then it has a bunch of other resources. Adoptive blog threads. That's clever. I like that. Okay. I'm slightly surprised that it doesn't like end with like a section where you write notes on your plot for your novel. Oh wait, no, this is story ideas. Plots later. Never mind, that makes sense. Okay, session 2. Create complex, believable characters. Okay. Most people think that an intriguing plot is what makes a good story, but the truth is that exciting plots are made up of original and well-developed characters. This is true. So flat characters versus original characters. I feel like that's kind of a weird way to phrase that. I would say like complex, not original. You could have a flat character that's original. But anyways, details. The example of a flat character. Steve was a good kid. He got good grades and was never late to class. A developed character. Steve Goodhold was a good kid. He got good grades and was never late to class. Little did anyone know he spent his nights working as an internet hacker. Blah blah blah. Okay, I'm not sure. I feel like that's kind of a weird example. It's like, I feel like those are... It's not necessarily a flat character, that's just like a character that you haven't written about. Which I guess is what a flat character is. I guess that makes sense. Okay. Not only are characters with hidden depth and secrets more fun to read about, they're also more fun to write about. True. It also gives you just like more to write about, which is helpful. Though you'll end up writing about a bunch of different people in your novel, most of them will fall into one of 3 categories. The protagonist, the supporting characters, and the antagonist. The protagonist is the character with the starring role in your book. In most novels, the protagonist is on a journey to get what they want more than anything else in the world. Whether it's fame, revenge, reuniting a long-lost sibling, or something more elusive like overcoming poverty or cancer. It's not what I thought I was going to say, it's a more elusive, but okay. Supporting characters. Supporting characters are characters in a novel that have an important role in your protagonist's life. Some may be around, well, okay. Some may be around for the protagonist's entire journey, some only for parts. Supporting characters can be friends, relatives, love interests, you name it. These characters also have dreams of their own, and their adventures will add even more excitement to your novel. And we have two types of antagonists? Yeah. Physical antagonist. A physical antagonist is a living, breathing character in a novel that is standing in the way of the protagonist read the words that are there. Okay, that is standing in the way of the protagonist achieving their goal. This does not mean that all physical antagonists are evil monsters. Some antagonists stand in the way simply through jealousy or misunderstanding, or having a set of goals that differ from the protagonists. And then it gives an example. And the other is an abstract antagonist. So a lot of antagonists are living, breathing beings, some are not. Some protagonists face off against illness or grief or the powers of a corrupt government. We like to call these kind of antagonists abstract because they don't take actual physical form. Yeah. Okay, I like this descriptor. I don't think it's necessary, but okay. Maybe easier to think of it this way. If your protagonist cannot physically kick your antagonist in the knee, it's probably abstract. Like, yeah, okay. Yeah, and then there are just examples. It's a great idea for you, the author, to try and get to know your characters before you begin writing. That is very helpful. It's one of the things I need to do. So, character questionnaire. So I'll definitely probably use some of this. Copy the questionnaire below for as many characters as you want to fill it out for. And fill it out. Okay. Section 1. All your characters. Complete section 1 for every character you'd like to. If you have an abstract antagonist, try to answer as many questions as you can. Then move on. Right, okay. Oh yeah, this is a nice detailed one. Name, age, height, eye color, physical appearance, strange or unique physical attributes, favorite clothing style or outfit, where do they live, what is it like there, defining gestures and movements. That's one I don't think I feel like I don't think about that one very much. That's a good one though. Things about their appearance they're both most like to change. Okay, this one will be interesting for the story I'm thinking of. Stretch. Okay, I'll stretch. I really need a stretch animation. I keep saying that. Let's see. There we go. That's the closest to a stretch as I got at the moment. And it only sort of clips through the clothing. It's fine. Yeah, this will be kind of interesting because I basically the story idea I have is it's kind of like a journey of self-discovery. So a lot of these things, I don't think the character would know at the beginning. Because they're kind of trying to figure out who they are. It's like I don't think they would necessarily have a defining anything, at least at the start. Maybe by the end they have one, but that would be interesting. Speaking style, pet peeves, fondest memories, hobbies, interests, special skills and abilities, insecurities, quirks and eccentricities, temperament, negative traits, things that upset them. Wow, this is a very detailed list. Things that embarrass them. The character is highly opinionated about, phobias, things that make them happy, their family, deepest, darkest secrets. Ooh, that's an interesting one. So they have deep and darkest secrets, and then the reason they kept the secret for so long. Other people's opinions of the character. That's a good one. Favorite bands, songs, and type of music. I would never be good at this one because I know nothing about music. I'm very out of touch with music. Favorite movies I could do. Favorite TV shows, favorite books, foods, sport teams, blah blah blah. Dream vacation, that's a fun one. Ooh, that's actually a good one. Description of where they sleep. Or like description of, yeah, their bedroom. Because I always say that you can learn a lot about me by seeing my bedroom. But that's a good one. Although I don't know if it's true for everyone. I feel like a lot of people have like really generic bedrooms. Mine's not. I kind of joke that mine's like a dragon hoard. It's like if I like something, it's up on display in my room. Ooh, best and worst things that have happened to the character. That's a good one. 3 words to describe this character. Ooh, that's a fun one. If a song played every time this character walked into the room, what song would it be? Yeah, I don't know if I would do that one, but I don't know songs, but that's a fun one. Okay, and then additional ones for supporting character. What's their relationship? Pro tag, favorite thing, similarities, differences. Okay. Okay, and then the additional questions for antagonists. Basically, why are they doing it? Any likable traits. And then weaknesses. Makes sense. The 3 big character questions. What does your character want more than anything in the world? What do they need to grow as a person? And major flaws and obstacles that stand in their way. Those are pretty good questions. Also, just a note, it's totally normal not to have a sense of who the heck your characters are until after you finish writing your first draft. So don't worry if you feel like you don't have a holding of characters yet, or if they start changing as you write. That's part of the process. Yeah, that makes sense. I definitely say it develops over time, at least in my experience. Although it's hard to say because I haven't like actually planned any of my previous stories. I just kind of started writing them. And there's a bunch of more resources. Creating characters with color. Writing with color. Interesting. Okay. I'm gonna pull this up real quick and let's see what this is. It sounds interesting. Oh, never mind. I mean, it still sounds interesting, but it's to think about writing like people of color, so various things. Not, I was thinking something way more abstract than that, like literally writing. Oh, that's what it says. Characters of color. I can read. Anywho, moving on. So I'll definitely need to do something like these for at least some of my characters. I don't know if I'll use this exact worksheet or not. We'll see. That is a good starting point. Okay. Section 3. Constructing a detailed plot. Ooh. Plotting method quiz. That sounds fun. I love little, like, personality quizzes. Let me figure out what I'm doing. I'll pull this up and then I'll show it. I think I have this set up to work. Where is it? Oh, yeah. Hopefully. Yay! It just pops up over it. So let's do this. Hello, personality quizzes. They're fun. So, what kind of plotting method will work best for you and your story? Oh, that's really small on the screen. Bigger. There we go. Whoop. There we go. Ooh, what's your daily planner look like? That changes a lot for me, so let's see. Options are bullet point, color coding, calendars. I've got them all. I use a calendar and stay organized, but don't worry about it too much. Like a list, a big, mushy list. I know where everything is. Or what's a daily planner? It's definitely one of the top two for me. Nah, okay, I'll be honest. Bullet points, color coding, calendars, I've got it all. That's almost always true. Sometimes I'm more of a... I'm organized, but I don't worry about it too much. But if I have, like, big projects or stuff going on, then I do all the things. Oh, how do you feel about spreadsheets? Love them. The more detailed, the better. That's definitely me, but let's see what the others are. A few rows are okay, more than that, no thank you. Spreadsheets make my eyes hurt. Yeah, I love spreadsheets. Spreadsheets are the best. Ooh, what's your Harry Potter house? I've never read. I like this one. I prefer Lord of the Rings. I'm like... I mean, I feel like those aren't exactly comparable. I mean, they're both fantasy, but... I feel like that doesn't quite... I get having I've never read Harry Potter, because then, like, someone who has no idea what these are couldn't answer, but it's like, how does saying you prefer Lord of the Rings help in this quiz? Like, I mean, I do prefer Lord of the Rings, but I feel like for this quiz you're looking for, like, the details of the houses. But we'll go with I prefer Lord of the Rings, because that's the most accurate of these options. Oh man, I also want to read and or watch Lord of the Rings again. Well, that's a time commitment, because I also only watched the extended version of Lord of the Rings, so then it takes even longer than the already long films. Let's see. Okay, how do you prefer to explore a new place? One foot in front of the other. I haven't seen the new series yet. I need to. I've heard like mixed things about it. Yeah, I need to watch the new Lord of the Rings series and the Obi-Wan series. So there are two shows I'm like I need to watch. And I keep forgetting to watch. But yeah, I do need to watch those. What's the Lord of the Rings series on? Is it Amazon? Amazon? Is it on Amazon Prime? Because if it is, we could totally do like a Twitch watch party. That would get me to watch it. That'd be kind of funny. I don't think I will, but that is technically an option. I don't think I would. Like, I kind of like the ideas of like watch party streams, but at the same time, I don't get it. Because like I'm the type of person who like doesn't like talking while watching things. It's like I feel like a watch party, if I hosted one, would be very boring. Anyways, I do need to watch the Lord of the Rings show and yeah, Obi-Wan. And I think I still have half of The Mandalorian I need to watch. I've fallen behind on non-anime shows. Okay. How do you prefer to explore a new place? Walking, or I like to do some research ahead of time and have a sense of where things are and what I might want to visit. I make a list of places to visit, maybe draft a rough schedule and have a map handy. Research, maps, detailed list of local flora and fauna. I like to have it all ready ahead of time and know exactly where I'm going. I don't like to explore new places at all. Okay, this is an interesting one. Because it does kind of depend. Well, I guess, okay, a new place. I mean, no, it still depends on the location. I think I'm probably up here somewhere. I have a sense of where things are and what I might want to visit. Like, I feel like I used to be like super detailed. But I think for like traveling, it's like the one place I'm not super detailed. Like in every other regard, I feel like I'm more detailed than my mom, but when my mom's planning trips, she goes like all out with like details, schedules, all these things. Whereas I'm more chill about it, so I'll probably do this one. Do some research ahead of time and have a sense of where things are and what I might want to visit. And then once I get there, I just kind of figure it out as I go. If you've written fiction before, what kind of plan helped you the most? Ooh. No plan, I write better without an outline. A rough plan with basic story beats laid out. A more detailed plan with story beats and character arcs. Shall I show you my 100-point outline? I've never written anything. It's a tricky one. Because it's different depending on what story I'm writing. Also, lately, I started writing without any sort of outline, and then end up with an outline partway through. We'll probably do a rough plan. Like on average. Some end up with a detailed plan with character arcs. And normally Yeah, I'll say rough plan, because I don't really outline it until I essentially write it in my head and then outline it so I don't forget what I've written in my head before I can write it on paper. That's more or less what that is. So we'll do a rough plan. Ooh, Raven. I like the ravens. I really want to know how they like what do these animals convert into the different planning types? I mean, that's probably like a no plan. Anyways, I'm a raven. Ravens are cool. What genre are you writing this November? For the sake of this very scientific quiz, please pick just one. It'll be fantasy. Is the best fit, yeah. Hey Goku, welcome in, how you doing? We're taking a little like personality quiz on novel planning methods. I don't know, yeah, what kind of plotting method will work best for you and your story? Partially doing this just because I like personality quizzes. I think they're fun. How much planning have you already done? Came up with idea, I did do that. I've done some work developing characters and thinking through the basics of my story. Yeah. I know what all the major plot points will be and have brainstormed a few scenes. I've listed out a bunch of ideas for scenes and plot points and twists and character arcs. I've got no idea what my story will be about. Okay, I'm somewhere in here. Yes, I'm probably here still. I don't know that I know all the major plot points. I know a few. Yeah, so I've done some work developing characters and thinking through the basics of my story. Yeah. What would be your ideal vacation? Ooh, oh, camping. Maybe not in that location. That looks more like a desert. I would rather be in a forest, but camping. I love camping. Let's get to the point. How much of your plot do you want to outline before you start writing? None of it, just the basics, major plot points. All significant moments and turns, all of it, I'm not sure. This is an interesting one because I don't normally outline before I start writing. But I think we'll say... Okay, these ones are interesting. Major plot points or all significant moments and turns. Those are very similar. Probably do this one, partially because I feel like this one would include more like logistical details, I guess, like mapping things out, because I feel like I might do that, because I think this is going to be kind of like a journey story, so I might like map out the actual like journey path like on a map, maybe. I need to decide how detailed that aspect's gonna be. So we'll do this one, all the significant moments and turns. Okay. Wow, I got a 3-way tie. That's helpful. I mean, it doesn't exactly surprise me either. Being my method varies so much from like story to story. I'm not too surprised that no specific one really fits. I've also don't know what like any of these are. Nine-step Let's see what this is. Oh, I guess it's like a... I have no idea what these are. Let's see. Okay. Looks like a basic story structure. You start and then you have what causes like story to start, and then you have the like basically like the first climax sort of thing, and then you have midpoint, second climaxy thing, big climaxy thing. I don't think this one would work very well for me, because it's both like too structured and not structured enough at the same time. Or it's not detailed enough. It's too structured and not detailed enough. But okay, interesting. Let's see what this one is. Some people like to write their way through the wilds of a first draft and then figure out where the story is later. I'm kinda like that. Oh, you are not one of these people. I mean, I kind of am. You enjoy figuring out how the pieces of the story work together and planning out specific plot beats ahead of time. Okay, I am like that also. I see, I think this is why this quiz doesn't know what I am, because apparently I don't know what I am. Ooh. I like the graphic. I like graphics. Okay, so it looks like this kind of like the previous one, more detail, because it breaks down 3-act structure into smaller sections. Okay. See, now I think this one is like more detailed than I would do in planning. Like, I like it. I like the details and percentages and stuff, but see what this one is. Give me all the plans. Give them to me. Okay. For those who love spreadsheets, enjoy step-by-steps, who like understanding all the nitty-gritty little pieces of how something works, or who just feel like they can use some detailed, specific support around the plot, enjoy blah 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 this. Oh, it's a spreadsheet version. Okay. So basically, I guess these are kind of just like different formats of the same thing. I mean, I like spreadsheets, but I'm not liking this. Okay, see, this one sounds good. This is for people who think that throwing too much logical thought into a project ruins the magic, but also don't want to spend days working on a plot point that eventually leads nowhere. Okay, let's see what this one is. Okay. Yeah, see, I think this one is more like how I work. Let's see. It looks like it's basically like brainstorm and then ordering. Okay, yeah, let's see what this is. Step 1. Get yourself in a creative space, whatever that means for you. Use index cards or a notebook or the next page of that table. Close your eyes and start imagining your way through your novel, as if you're reading it inside your head. Jot down every single scene that comes to you, using just a few words. Take different paths on purpose to see what happens, and write down scene ideas even if they contradict each other. Do this every day until you've thought through and collected around 50 to 100 scene ideas. That's a lot. No, yes, not really. Okay, step 2, time to sort. Spread out your index cards on the ground or flip through your notebook or digital document. Group the scenes into beginning, middle, and end piles. Don't throw away any scene ideas yet. Add them to the maybe not group. And then 3, fine-tune your piles. Put them in order. Eventually your goal is to have a list of scenes in the order they might happen in your story. Use your list of scenes as a rough guide to keep you on track and moving forward. Okay, yeah, see, this is more like how I actually write. I just don't necessarily do it ahead of time. Or like this structured. But yeah, I do kind of like run through the whole story and then I, write bullet point lists. Okay, so this one's kind of cool, which is, kind of funny because this quiz thought this was my, well, 4th. But I think this one is most like how I actually write. Because yeah, I essentially write the story in my head and then I'll start like writing a list of scenes to write on paper. Interesting. What this one is. Oh. Wait, this one basically just looks like a lecture on basic story structure. Okay, this is like take me back to, well, high school, maybe even like, freshman English and uni. Which, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It works, but yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna ignore the results because it thinks I would want these, but which makes sense. Because I am in general like a very detailed person. I like lists, I love spreadsheets. But not when I'm writing like a fictional story. I tend to do like this method where you just kind of grab ideas and put them together. Anyways, that was fun. I don't know. I don't think that was actually helpful for me, but it was fun. Okay. Now I'm gonna take a really quick break. Go get some more water and such before we move on to the next section. So yeah, I will be right back. Alright, I'm back. Let's move on. Well, I guess the same section, continuing on, seeing what this document says about plot outlining. Okay. Oh, okay, now it talks about the things which we just looked at. Okay, let's see how it describes it. You've got the seed of an idea, a character that calls to you, a world to discover, maybe a few plot ideas. Now it's time to explore that idea, but not on the page, in your head. Okay, that sounded weird. I don't know why that sounded weird. That makes sense. Maybe that just makes sense because that's what I do. Here's what we mean. Instead of writing a whole novel to find out which twists ends up getting you stuck, or to realize that it would have been more interesting choice for your character to do A instead of B, we're going to do all the story imagining at the level of scene instead of sentence. Yeah, that makes sense. And then, yeah, that's basically what we just read. Yeah. Come up with, like, brainstorm all your ideas, sort them, put them in order, and there you go. Okay, I might actually read these because it's more concise than that other document. Now, they are useful things. The different sections of the plot roller coaster. Section 1, Setup. Most novels begin by showing a little bit about the characters, the setting, the conflict, and the conflict before jumping fully into the action. The setup of a story is like the start of a roller coaster. You get hints of the excitement, scary stuff coming up ahead, but for the most part, you're just looking around getting to know people on the ride with you. Yeah, so this is just like very basic story format. Section 2 is the inciting incident. Launches your protagonist onto the adventure. Whether they're ready or not, it can be a pretty exciting moment for your main character. Once it happens, there's no turning back. Then section 3 is rising action. The rising action is the longest section of the novel. It's made up of many events, each of them building up to the most exciting part of your story, the climax. It's where you develop your character, deepen their relationships with one another, and lay out everything that happens to them before that big finish. Think the rising action of the biggest stall on a roller coaster. The higher you go, the more suspenseful it gets. Section 4 is the climax. The climax is the gasp moment. It's the moment at the very top of the roller coaster, right before the high-speed drop. This moment doesn't last long, and neither does the climax in your novel. It can be as short as one paragraph, just enough to make your readers hold their breath in suspense and ask what's going to happen next. Falling action. The falling action is what happens next. It's the fast-paced, action-packed part of your novel. It's a fast-paced action part of your novel. You're finally speeding down the tracks of the roller coaster with your hands in the air. Does the antagonist get defeated? Do the protagonist's dreams come true? If so, how? Section 6. The resolution is how things work out in the end, after your protagonist gets or doesn't get what they want. It's also a place to show how your characters and their lives have changed. Blah blah blah. Yeah, so this is like a really rough outline of your story plot. Like, I don't think I would want to use this for like a novel. I feel like it's too broad. You don't have enough space for all the details. Yeah, and then this is a slightly more detailed version. And then an even more detailed version, which, yeah, I don't think, like, I've super detailed, like, spreadsheets, lists for everything except writing. This just feels way too structured. I don't like being, like, super structured in things like fiction and poetry. Research papers, I didn't mind, like, the structure. I like the structure in that context, but for, like, fiction and poetry, I really don't like structured stuff. Okay, that's all that. On to section 4, whatever you want to call it. Building a strong world for your characters. Part 1. Settings that create moods. Now that you have an outline of your plot, it's time to explore some of the settings for your novel. The setting of a novel is where and when the story takes place. As you know, most novels have more than one setting. That was me sneezing, if you're wondering why my model went wacko. Oh dear. I think I'm gonna sneeze again. One moment. Nope, okay. False alarm. Only one sneeze this time. Okay, where was I? Most novels have more than one setting. Usually the author decides to have one large setting, like Los Angeles in 95, and then many smaller settings, like the laundromat or a classroom. Settings do more than serve as a backdrop to action in your novel. They can also create or enhance the mood of your novel. Mood means the feelings of your novel. Its emotional quality. You can also think of mood as how you want someone to feel while reading your novel. Then it gives an example of how to make a creepy setting. Okay. Describe the setting that would help create each of the moods listed below. Or a sentence or two for each mood, blah blah blah. Okay, so yeah, then it's an exercise in how to write settings to match a mood. It's kind of fun. Okay, the last step is to apply your new skills to your upcoming novel. Think of a scene from each section of your novel, then write or list details to describe a setting that will help create the right mood for each scene. I see, once again, this is like a very basic structure that's like, I mean, it's like I feel like I would have lots of settings. It's like, yeah, anyways. I feel like if I did that, I would need to make a more detailed list, because I feel like, well, maybe not. You could have more multiple settings for like each of these sections. Also possibly not. Anyways, moving on. Okay, part 2, settings that reinforce characters. Another advanced writing trick is to show things about characters just by putting them in specific settings. If you're writing about a mysterious person, you might place them in a dark mansion on a hill outside of town. If you're writing about a musician, you might place them in a messy room filled with instruments, speakers, and microphones. And yeah, there's an example. Yeah, Jasmine doesn't even speak for herself, Rune speaks for her. Yes, I do like things like that. Like, I think, like, it's true in real life also that you can, I mean, not always, but you can often learn, like, a lot about a person from, like, looking around their house. Like, I mean, not always, because some people keep, like, generic. Well, I mean, even if you have, like, a generic, kind of, like display looking room, I guess, you can still learn a lot about them. It's also, like, why I have this, I mean, kind of bad habit of, like, stooping in people's bookshelves. Like, if I'm at someone's house, or even, like, if they just have a bookshelf, like, in the background of, like, a picture of something, I was like, oh, what books do you have? I want to see, I want to snoop what books it shows, because, yeah, you can learn a lot about people by their bookshelves. Yeah, so this is kind of what this section is about. Making your settings tell you about the characters. Okay, so each of the following characters come up with a setting that will reflect or reinforce what you imagined about them. Yeah. A secret scientist superhero. That's a fun character. Yeah. Okay, that was a less detailed section than I was kind of hoping it would be. Which I guess makes sense, because they're kind of targeting like beginner writers and just like a more general audience. Let me see. Let me see what this says. I'm gonna pull up. Yeah, I'm gonna pull up this blog post. It looks like it goes into a little more detail about world building. There we go. I'll zoom in because that is very small. Okay, well, there we go. 20 questions to ask yourself when world building. This is from the NaNoWriMo blog. One of the most important parts of writing is grounding your story in a believable setting. Not just for fantasy, but any genre. World building can help you figure out how your characters fit into the bigger picture, or learn what their motives are. Sometimes it can seem frustrating to spend a lot of time on building an elaborate world for your novel, only to have to cut most of that fascinating history and background in the final draft. But having that knowledge is important to creating. Okay, try again. But having that knowledge is important to create fully rounded out characters and plot. In fact, the iceberg theory of writing imagines that 80 to 90% of a story occurs below the surface. How much do you know about the world of your novel? We've come up with 20 important questions to ask yourself when creating the background for the story. How long has your world existed? How did your world originate? Yeah. What are some important historical... That's not what it says. What are some important historic events in your world? How did they contribute to the geography or social structures? I could talk. That exist in your world's present day. What is considered a curse word in your world? What is considered sacred and what is considered profane? That's a good one I didn't think about. Hey, hello Gonzalo, welcome in. Basically what we're doing today is just looking through novel prep tools and stuff. So mostly the NaNoWriMo stuff. So this is a little blog post they wrote about 20 questions to ask yourself when world building. So basically, I'm getting inspiration for making like outline world building worksheet type of thing for the novel I'm writing for NaNoWriMo. Yeah, so right now we're going through a list of world building questions, some of which I will probably pick to like answer for the novel I'm gonna write. But yeah, that's what we're doing today. We're starting novel writing prep and learning about some tools to help with that. Okay, where were we? Number 5. What holidays does your world celebrate? That's a good one I haven't really thought about. 6. Does your world have a religion? That one I have thought about a little bit. I have a basic outline for that. If your world has a religion, is there one or many? Blah blah blah. Details about it basically. 8. What resources are in your world? What are the imports, exports? Yeah. Number 9. What is the structure of your world's government? And what's the geography and climate? That is an important one. What are the seasons? Ooh, what kind of calendar system does your world have? What's it based on? I don't know why I struggled to read that. That is a good one. Which, for my last novel, I sort of made a new calendar system. It's basically the same as our calendar system, only I made all the months 28 days because I was too lazy, and it's easier to have even months. I do need to have a think about the calendar system for my new novel. So that's one of those things I had never thought about until like the last novel I started writing, when I started having to like track time basically, and it's like, then you need a calendar system. You don't necessarily need to know the calendar system for all stories, but it is a useful thing to think about. Oh, I like this one. What are the distances between important places in your world? Draw a map if you want to. Yeah, I've done that for two stories now. I really enjoy doing that, and it's very helpful. Calculating all the distances and the travel times. I have a lot of fun doing that too. Just, yeah, calculating travel times. Lots of math, but it's a lot of fun. I enjoy it. So I probably will do that part just because it's fun. What is the class or social structure of your world? That is an important one to know. Where in that structure does your main character fall? 15. Ooh, what languages do your characters speak? This one I'm kind of curious what I'm gonna do with that. I mean, I probably won't I don't know. I'd love to make like a language for a novel, but that's not gonna happen. And also wouldn't make sense. But yeah, let's say they don't speak English, but in the novel they're gonna be in English. Probably, I think is what I'm gonna do. I wish I, was like Tolkien and can make up languages. That would be cool, but I do not think I have that skill level. Okay, 16. What are some details you can use from real-world places that are similar to your world to make it feel more believable? That's a very broad and open-ended question. Ooh, 17. What does your world smell like? That is not one I'd ever thought of before. What will world smell like? I guess it would make sense in some context. Like if you had like a steampunk or like industrial type of location, then that would have, you know, it could have like a metallic-y smell or something, versus like forest, which would have, I don't know, a fresher smell. So that is a good one. Good question that I don't normally think about. Ooh, this is a good one. What are some of the main dishes people in your world eat? What's the food like? 19. What are the limitations of power, energy, or magic in your world? Good one. 20. What kinds of objects or ideas are familiar with people of the world? And what ones are strange or outlandish to them? If you get overwhelmed looking at the big picture, try building your world from a character's perspective. First, what does their room look like? Then what does their house look like? And blah blah blah. Expand out, basically. The most important things to remember about world building are A. Creating a larger scope for your world should be fun for you, and B. The world building you do should help deepen readers' connection with the character or drive the plot forward. Okay. There's some kind of useful questions in there, so I will keep a hold of that. Okay. Move on to the next one. Okay, this section's kind of interesting. It's not really what I'm looking for right now, but it is interesting because it's organizing your life to support your writing goals. We'll read through this, see what they suggest. So, pre-NaNoWriMo non-noveling checklist. Everyday chores, tasks, and responsibilities can pile up quickly. We'll never be able to control all the variables. Sometimes you may be able to clear a little space in your busy schedule and your busy brain by taking care of things ahead of time. Here's a suggested checklist of things you might want to feel prepared Here's a suggested checklist of things you might want to try to feel prepared for the month ahead. Of course, some of these are not possible or apply to you, so feel free, blah blah blah. 1. Stock up on writing fuel. Consider planning out your meals by week or by month and buying all. Basically, yeah. Take care of grocery shopping ahead of time. Bookmark. See, this is very interesting. It's like a very practical checklist for preparing for the writing challenge, which is cool. I don't think most of this will necessarily apply to me, but it is interesting. So bookmark a few quick and easy recipes, or consider making and freezing meals ahead of time. I more or less do that already, so that's easy. If you can, divvy up chores with other people. Promise to make up the balance later. Smart. Deep clean spaces you're responsible for before the month begins. Oh, I like that. Whether it's your house, your room, or even just your computer files. Yeah, always good to clean up computer files. In fact, I kind of need to do that at some point. I need to double check my backups. It's fine. Okay. Where was I? If you have any big work/school items due in November, see if you can send the deadliners, get as much done as possible in October. Designate a special writing place for yourself. Try not to make the same place you do work or chores. But if it is, how can you make it special for writing? a candle, picture, certain music, whatever helps you feel creative. That is a good thing, just like a good tip just for in general, if you're trying to do creative stuff, particularly writing, but I'm sure it applies to other stuff also, is to make your space like conducive for that. I find that helps a lot. Yeah, like certain music, candles, to like get you in the right like mood or headspace, or a certain type of tea. I've done that before, where it's like I have a tea that I only use for like reading, or a tea I only use for writing, or you know, stuff like that. So it's like whenever you like taste or smell that tea, it's like, oh, okay. You basically train your brain to like go into writing mode when you taste or smell a certain tea, which is really cool and a very fun thing to like play around with, like ways you can train your brain to get into certain headspaces versus based on yeah, like smells or scents or sounds. Or like if you have another thing I've done a little bit is like a, what do they call it? Like an aromatherapy necklace. You get different scents of it for different things. So it's like, I haven't done it as much, but I've tried around with it a little bit. So it's like when I want to do creative stuff, I would use like the pine tree scent if I wanted to like focus on, all the time it was like PhD work. I had some other scent. Roses maybe? I don't know. And yeah, it actually does work pretty well. It's very interesting the way you can, yeah, train your brain to like focus on different things based on scents and stuff. So yeah, I suggest this tip. Even when you're not doing a writing challenge, it's like, yeah, if you're struggling to like focus on things, maybe try mixing it up with like, yeah, scents or flavors, music. Because I find it very helpful anyways. Like I do have one tea that I use almost exclusively for things like reading and writing. Things when I want to like, yeah, I'm more like creative, like open-minded thinking and focused thinking. I have a certain tea for that. But yeah, so I like that one. This one's cool. Make a do not disturb sign or choose some other obvious signal. A hat or headphones. To let people around you know they should leave you alone. I don't know why I never thought of that. Why I thought that was slightly funny at first, the idea of like a do not disturb hat. Like if I'm wearing this hat, do not talk to me. Makes sense though. Inform friends and family you'll be writing this month. Tell them how important it is to you. Let them know you might have to prioritize writing over socializing. Ask someone if they'll be your accountability buddy. That's a good one. Yeah. And then, yeah, they have space for you to add more to the list. Very nice. Yeah, this one's interesting. How to explain NaNoWriMo to important people in your life. Having the support of your friends, family, or other important people in your life can help you accomplish your creative goals. But the truth is, sometimes they just don't get it. They might not understand why you want to prioritize your writing over other activities this month. The best way to get people on your side is often by being open and communicative about your motivations. Although we realize it's not always the easiest thing to do, that's why we made a few resources to help you navigate these conversations. Well, that's cute. A little do not disturb sign. I like it. Little infograph about how to help people who are. Oh, I like it. Number 3, feed them. How to support friends and families during the month of creative abandon. Cheer them on. Do chores. Feed them. I feel like feed them should probably be higher, especially for some people. Writers love being. Wait, what? Can I zoom in on this? This is very small, but some of it's funny. Okay, I need to read this little infographic. Number 1, cheer them on. Writing is hard. Words of support go a long way, and it's always more fun to celebrate world count milestone with a friend. Pizza party? Movie night? That's a good one. I like that one. Where'd the music go? One moment. Oh, it's still there. It's just a very, very quiet song. Okay, 2, volunteer for chores. Whether it's taking out trash or vacuuming the family carpet store, every little bit helps. Fewer chores equals more time to write. Number 3, feed them. Healthy snacks for writing, something sweet to celebrate, or a well-timed coffee, tea, water. Unlike wild animals, writers love to be fed. I like the humor in this. Number 4, ask about their novel. Be interested in what happens next, or that one character just won't behave. But don't push too hard if your writer doesn't feel like sharing. Yeah, good tip there. Read drafts with love. First drafts are precious, messy, delicate things that mostly need encouragement and praise. Editing and constructive advice can come later. Yeah, that's true, especially with some writers and some books. Like some writers are fine getting like constructive advice during their first draft. Like sometimes I find it like helpful, but yeah, some writers don't do that. That'll like derail them. But yeah. Number 6, be understanding. There's a good chance your writer will spend many hours alone in their room, only to emerge unshowered and dreamy-eyed. Be understanding. Number 7, give them space to write. Try not to interrupt your writer while they are working. Sometimes even small distraction can disrupt their inspiration and focus. This is true. Or write together. Do it with them. Okay. Please zoom back out. Number 3. Oh, it just gives an example of basically writing to tell people that you're writing. Ooh. Okay. That's kind of cool. I don't think I'll actually like use any of that, but could be useful stuff for some people. Okay. Session 6. Find, schedule, and manage your time. Ooh, another quiz. Let's do this one. Because I love personality quizzes. I've honestly considered doing it's like a whole stream where I just like do a bunch of random personality quizzes. Because I think they're fun and interesting. Okay. What's the best NaNoWriMo writing schedule for you? I'm very curious about this one. How many people do you usually make dinner for? Just me. Where are you most likely to be found on the weekends? Hanging out with friends, running errands, catching up on my Netflix glue, working or studying, rock climbing, basically going out or writing. Where am I most likely to be found on the weekends? I mean, I feel like it's kind of like multiple of these. Because, like, I stream on Saturday, so I guess that counts as at work. But then I normally run errands on Sunday. I guess I'll do at work or studying. Yeah. Sure. I guess. I don't know. Yeah. We'll do at work or studying. I think that's the closest. Which image of an animal below do you most identify with? None of these? Guess maybe the dog? I don't know. I'll do the guess. How much sleep do you get on average? Okay. See, part of this, it's like, how exactly do you find sleep? Because I'm in bed for more than 8 hours, so I'm not necessarily asleep. But I guess we'll do 6 to 8. Oh look, it's a doctor. Which fictional character do you most identify with? Got all the time? Oh, like time-wise. That one's not loading. That's fine. I've got all the time in the universe. The hurrier I go, the behinder I get. Packed schedule, no problem. All it takes is a ton of organization and roll magic. Go with the flow. Work real hard each and every day. Things for sure are going my way. Probably the organization one. Yeah. I like organizing. What best describes your current approach to NaNoWriMo? I will reach 50,000 words at all costs. Just try this out. Ask me in a week or so. Nervous about whether I'm going to be able to do this. I plan to put a meaningful effort and see what I am able to accomplish. However many words that might be. Probably this one. Yeah. I'm not holding myself like too strictly to I have to reach 50,000 words. But I'm more than like, let's just try this out. I'm gonna do it. So yeah, we'll do this one. I'm definitely gonna put in the effort, but I'm not gonna like stress too much out about the word count. How predictable is your schedule? I've got my schedule planned out a month or more in advance. I don't expect any surprises. I can mostly plan out my schedule, but things might change. Schedule? Who keeps the schedule? Definitely me. So, well, this month I've actually have this month planned out, I think, but I'm going to have mostly planned out because things might change. I don't think anything should change between now Well, between now and when I start. Yeah, we'll do that one. How much extra time do you think you could find in your normal day to write? I think I'll probably find. I mean, my schedule's pretty flexible, so I could find time. I'll say I already have a lot of time built into my schedule. Ooh. Which writing tool would you choose? Oh, which type of writing tool would choose you in a Harry Potter launches wizard type situation? Oh, that's a fun question. Which writing tool would choose you versus which tool would you choose? Well, I would say this one. I mean, that's what I would choose. Yeah. We'll do the cool fountain pen. Weekends are for writing. Okay. Your weekday hour. How did it get that out of what I answered? Weekday hours are claimed by work, school, or related task. I'd small checks of time for Monday, Friday, then stretch into. Okay, this is the exact opposite of what I'm going to be doing. That's funny. And a few writing breaks every weekday, then split 6 hours of writing over the weekend. Yeah, no, this is the opposite of what I'll probably do. So I'm guessing I'll probably do most of my writing on the weekdays. Because Sunday is normally like housework day. I'm probably not gonna do much writing Sunday. That's funny. So once again, their personality quizzes are not working. Because yeah, I'm the outlining one didn't really work. Yeah, this one's like the exact opposite. That's funny. Okay. Let's go back. Rest of the document, see what it says. Where was I? Okay. Bum, bum, bum. Okay, so these are the other ones. So if time is your friend, for one reason or another, you're able to dedicate a lot of time to creative writing now. That's awesome, but fair warning, this can be a double-edged sword. Your first step is to structure that time. Reserve 2 blocks of focused writing time during your day, i.e. an hour in the morning, an hour in the evening, 2 hours, an hour, etc. Use blocks of time so which you know it's likely for you to be unlikely. Which you know it's unlikely for you to be interrupted. Unlikely for you to be able to focus. Okay. Goal is like 1,600 words a day. That doesn't sound too bad. 1,600 words in a day. Not bad. Yeah, there's the weekend one, which I'm not doing. What's this one? Wait, so how is this one different than the first one? Oh, okay. No, I don't know. I don't know how this one's different than... I guess just a different way to think about it. Because this one's also like two blocks a day, 1,600 words. And this one is two 30-minute sections, which with 840 words each. So that's again around 16-something words. I guess this one's just like a more focused way to look at it, I guess. Like you're doing specifically 30 minutes. Because the other one's like, do however long you want. I guess. Sure. Yeah, and then this one is just do whatever you can. I feel like those methods aren't exactly useful. Well, but okay, kind of helpful, I guess. Okay. That's the end of that little worksheet. Or whatever you want to call it. Okay, so how do I want to do this now? So yeah, so this thing was kind of helpful. I feel like, yeah, I feel like this little thingy is kind of more for new writers, which makes sense. I'm not sure how much of it's actually helpful for me, but it was kind of interesting. So I think... Okay. I think what I'm gonna do... Yeah, so I think I'm gonna take a quick break so I can get a couple things set up. And so I'll start like a new document and I'll start essentially making like my own worksheets for like character, world building, that type of stuff. So kind of based on what was in this, but also kind of doing my own thing. Yeah. Let's do that. So yeah, we're going to take a quick break and I'll get a Google Doc set up. And then, yeah, start brainstorming essentially like world building and character building questions that I need to answer in prep for writing my novel. Yeah, cool. Alright. Take a quick break. Feel free, get up, stretch your legs, get some food, get some water, do whatever you need to do, and we'll be back in a few minutes. Alright, I'm back. Let's grab my Google Doc. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Yeah, so basically gonna use like NaNoWriMo stuff we just like went through. Okay, make my own worksheet. A little more detailed than the stuff they had. Yeah, let's start by doing the character section. Let's see, how do I want to do this? How do I want to format this? Okay. Also need to slightly reorganize my desk because for some reason I have my keyboard pushed back really far, so it's like I couldn't see my keyboard because it was behind my microphone. There we go. Now I can see my keyboard. Yeah, so character. What do we need to know about the character? You need to know a name. I guess I'll put down age, though I'll mean something slightly different for this story. They don't have ages per se, because they're all immortals. We'll put age on there. Let's put pronouns up by name. I guess I'll put... Yeah, for now we'll put these all on there separately. Yeah. To be honest, I haven't fully decided how these are gonna work in the world. That's part of my world building thing I need to think through. Is how all those things work, but we'll leave them there for now. Okay, let me pull up that worksheet we went through. Let's see what else they had, because I feel like I'm missing a bunch of really obvious ones. Oh yeah, they had... Okay, let me put this... That's fine. They had height and eye color. These are more appearance-based things. Eye color. Hair is important to me, so hair is going to be on its own line. I don't think they had that separated out in the worksheet, but hair is important to me. Yeah, then we'll just do like a kind of general physical appearance. That is not how you spell that word. Range of unique physical attributes. I guess I'll put that on list. I don't know that any of my characters will have any of those, but we'll put it on the list just in case. Favorite clothing style slash outfit. That could be an interesting one. Not one I've really thought about before when creating characters, but maybe. Where do they live? I guess that makes sense to have in the character section. Oh yeah, defying gestures and movements. Don't know that my characters will have that, but it is interesting to think about, so we'll put it that here. Yeah, I really like the things about their appearance they would most like to change. I don't know that's gonna apply to any of my characters in this story, but I think it's a very cool one. I'm gonna put it on my little worksheet, even though I don't know that I'll use it for any of these characters. Maybe I will, who knows. Speaking styles, another one of those things I've never really thought about. But I'll put it on, because, you know, maybe I'll think about it this time. Pet peeves, that's a pretty good one. That down there. Fondest memory. It's not gonna work for the main character in my story. I'll put it on my list, but I don't think I'm gonna use this one. But I'll put it on there. I'll push down, but yeah. Hobbies and interests. That might be relevant in this case. It's something they'll be like developing throughout the story. Put it on. Actually, I'm gonna. That's fine. Skills and abilities. Or in my case, like what kind of magic they use. Looking at that. Flash magic. Yeah. Which again is part of what they'll discover over the course of the story, is they're figuring out what part of it is they'll figure out what their what magic type they want to use. We'll put insecurities up there. Always a good one. This list has quirks and eccentricities, which I kind of feel like, well, okay, I guess it's not really. There's only physical attributes. I'll put it on the list. I don't know if I'll actually fill it in, but we'll put it in there. Temperament, that's a pretty good one. Put that one down there. Negative traits. It's another one I've never really thought about that much. But most of the characters I've written. That's a good one though. Good thing to think about. What are their weaknesses? Things that upset them. Another one that I haven't really thought about, but is a very good thing to think about. Things that embarrass them. That's a good one. What the character... Sure, we'll add what the character's opinionated about. Okay, I don't really like the appearance of this thing, but it's fine for now. We can make it look pretty later. Okay, I'm gonna rephrase one that's on their worksheet and do phobias and fears, because they just have phobias, but it's like general fears are worth noting also. Phobias and fears. On the other side, things that make them happy. I'm going to put Deepest Darkest Secret on here, even though that's not going to be relevant for the main character in my story. But there could be like a side character where that is relevant. I haven't really thought about any of the side characters yet. I feel like I should put favorite band, songs, and type of music, but I don't know how to answer that. Well, and also, actually, I probably am gonna skip also favorite movies, TV shows, and books. Because it's set in a fantasy world, so it's like, none of that's really relevant. I mean, books, I suppose. Yeah, I'm just gonna skip those. Like, those would be relevant if you're in like a real world setting, or like some sci-fi settings, but or like a complete fantasy setting, I don't think it's really gonna be relevant. Favorite foods. I guess I'll put that on. That could be useful. Okay, I'm like kind of trying to organize these, but I don't think I'm organizing them very well. That's fine. Favorite sports team, no. Political views, religious views. Not really relevant. Physical health. Not really relevant. Don't think. No. Dream vacation. Don't think that's really relevant either. Description of home where they sleep. Again, not for the main character, but there could be side characters where that would be useful, so I'll put both of those on. Any pets? Good question. That one's going on because I don't know. They might have pets, they might not. I haven't, well, I was gonna say I haven't decided. I haven't even thought about that yet. Best thing and worst thing that have ever happened to the character. Guess I'll put those on. Again, I'm not sure if they're gonna be super relevant for these characters, but could be a good thing to at least slightly consider. Superstitions. I don't think that's gonna be relevant for any of my characters or any of these characters. Yeah, I think I'll skip that one. 3 words to describe this character. I'll be honest, I'm not exactly a huge fan of the like 3 words to describe this character. I feel like that's too limited, but I'll put it on. And I like that if a song played every time this character walked into the room, what song would it be? But I don't know if that's particularly helpful for me. It's a kind of fun question though. Okay, so they also have some supporting character specific questions. Which honestly, I don't know if they're like all that helpful. Like relationship to the protagonist, I mean, I feel like you don't necessarily need to write that down. Their favorite thing about the protagonist. Again, that might not be like relevant. Like they might not even know, so eh. And then similarities and differences. Yeah, I feel like I don't even write those down either. Like you could just look at the differences and similarities. I mean, okay, I guess I could see in some stories where it'd be useful to list those things out. But I don't think... I don't even know... Like, I haven't even thought of any supporting characters yet. I'm sure there are some. Well, okay, I know at least one. Yeah, I don't think the supporting character questions are that useful, so I'm gonna skip them. Okay, and I'm just gonna take some of the antagonist questions and put them in with just the general questions. Okay, this is really disorganized. Let's put this... So one that they don't really have, which is kind of odd, is strengths. They have weaknesses for the villain, but I feel like all the characters you should list there. Like their main strengths and weaknesses at least. And I guess I'll just do... kind of on the bottom, just do kind of a generic motivation section. That's kind of taking one of the points from the antagonist question, which is why are they facing off against the protagonist? So yeah, so I'm making basically a generic list for everyone. Okay, so the big 3 character questions, those are good. So let's go ahead and, well, add them but reword it slightly. We're just gonna, what does your character, it doesn't need to be the main character only, it could be any of the characters. What does your character want more than anything in the world, and what do they need to do? What do they need to grow as a person? That's a good one. What's the third one? Yeah, we'll do this. Major flaws and obstacles. Stand in the way. We kind of have that covered already, I think, in other questions, but we'll stick it on the list. Ooh. It's a blog post in here that's 51 questions you've probably never asked about your characters. Let's pull that up. Let's look at that. There could be some useful things in there, so let's just pull that up. Yeah. Okay. Ooh, that's a fun one. What does your character do when they think no one's looking? What's the one thing your character would save in a fire? Pretty good one. Who's on speed dial? That would be useful if you had a character that, you know, uses a phone. Character gets turned down for their dream job. What's their second choice? What will they tell their 10-year-old self? Interesting. Where would they want to go on a first date? And these are some good questions, but I don't know. Most of these aren't exactly relevant to my characters in this story. Physical detail and change about itself, you have that essentially. When was the time they were last held by who? One of my characters in my fanfic basically asks that of another character. But I don't think that's significant in any of my characters in this story. Ooh, what's their favorite thing about their favorite season? Their wallet gets stolen, what do they do? These are some good questions. Okay. When I read number 13, no joke, the first thing that came to mind was like the beginning of Kingdom Hearts. It's like, which do you care about more? Power, protecting your friends, etc. That's a good one, actually. I'm gonna take that one and put it on. Wait, these aren't in like any order anymore. That's fine. Why did I capitalize that? There we go. Whoops. No, how do you... Whatever, it's fine. I'll format this list later. It can look really ugly right now. That's fine. What's something nobody knows about them? That is a good question also. Again, may or may not be relevant to any of my characters in this story. That's a good one, so I'll put on the list. What's in their fridge? Again, not really relevant, especially in that phrasing, to these characters being... don't have fridges per se. So that is a good question. What are they most disgusted by? Interesting. What, like, thing, I guess. What's their second worst habit? That's very specific. What are the victory conditions for their life? That's a good one. Again, for my main character, they're kind of trying to figure that out, I think. A good question. In the end, your character fails to save the day. Assuming they survive, what do they do? That's a good one. Again, not relevant for this story, but interesting thing to think about. Okay, these ones are kind of fun. Your character is charged with a crime they didn't commit. What do they do? Or your character is charged with a crime they did commit. What was the crime? What's the 140 character version of your character's life? I don't think I could do that. I'm horrible at summaries. Okay, this one's really fun and clever. And don't mind the fact that I'm eating with protein bar in my mouth. Anyways, what important statistic would they want displayed above them? I suppose just a fun icebreaker question. Oh, that's an interesting one. What profession do they most respect? Well, this one's kind of interesting. I'm not quite sure what it tells you about your character, but it is kind of interesting. Your character is burdened with an inconvenient superpower. What is it? Like, I guess you could learn what your character thinks inconvenient. I have an interesting idea for like writing prompt. Yeah, I feel like that's more a writing prompt than giving you insight into your character, but it's interesting either way. This one actually is a pretty good one. Where would they stand at a dinner party, or I would take it further and just say, like, how would they act at a dinner party? Which is partially like where they stand, but you could expand a little bit by like, yeah, how they act. It's like, are they a wallflower? Are they social butterfly? Etc. Okay, this one's kind of interesting. What possible choice did they make that turned out to be the right one or the wrong one? I feel like that's a good question for like an older character, or like a mentor type character. which I don't know if I'm gonna have any of those in that store. I do like this one though. I'm gonna add it to my list even though I don't actually know if I'll have a character that it would make sense to ask that question of. But I like the question, so we'll do it. This is a good question. What is the meaning of life to your character? Because that is kind of like a core driving concept for a lot of things. Okay, that one's fun. Hey, thank you for the follow, Johan Bass. Bass? Feel free to correct my pronunciation. But welcome into the guild. I hope you enjoy your time here. I'm doing... Well, I'm kind of doing like prep for novel prep at the moment. So yeah, if you don't know who I am, I'm June Wordweaver. I'm a word magic mage from another world who came to this world to build this virtual like adventurers guild where people can hang out, get work done, learn new things, have fun. So yeah, today I am starting my prep for doing National Novel Writing Month. We're currently looking through ideas for like questions about characters to help you like flesh out and develop your characters. And then yeah, so I'm making a big list of ones I think I might use, and then probably next week I'll start actually filling it in. What kind of stories do you write? I write a bit of everything. So for like novel length type stories, I normally do fantasy. So the novel I'm going to try writing for NaNoWriMo is going to be a fantasy that is kind of based around my VTuber lore. It's set in the same world as my VTuber lore is, but it's about other characters. And then I have a fantasy vampire gay love romance novel that is a work in progress I've been working on for years now. And then I also write a lot of anime fan fiction. So that's the main thing I've been writing lately is anime fanfic. And oh, I rearranged my stream deck and didn't add all my chat buttons. Okay. Full disclosure, I haven't actually watched Death Note yet. I need to, but I haven't. Well, if I can type. There we go. If you would like to see some of my writing, I have up on my link tree, I have a link to AO3, which is where all my anime fanfic is, and then I have a blog where I have some of my VTuber lore, a couple random short stories, and I'll be putting more stuff up there. But yeah, so yeah, I haven't watched Death Note, but I have watched a ton of other anime. And yeah, I have fanfic for, let's see, Moriarty the Patriot, Skate, My Hero Academia, Psychopaths, Banana Fish, Yuri on Ice. I think that's all the anime I have. Oh, Given. And I have one Star Wars fanfic. But yeah. And I also do, like, I have experience doing nonfiction, mostly like scientific research papers, type writing also. So yeah, I write lots of things. You've seen almost all of them? Very nice. Oh, Hitoriji My Hero. That's the other show I have a fanfic for. Maybe Love Stage? I don't know. Yes, You're a Nice Given and Banana Fish are all epic. I will definitely agree with that. Though Banana Fish is also painful. I've only watched it once. Like, it's a great show, but it's painful. You're a Nice, I watch a ton. Given, I absolutely adore, but OMG, so many feels. I've only watched it. I think I've actually only watched it twice? Once subbed and then once in the dub when it came out. Maybe I watched a sub twice. I don't remember. But yeah, Given is a gorgeous, gorgeous show. I adore it. My mom also really likes it, and she bought the first volumes of the manga. So I'm starting to read the manga for Given. I don't read many manga, but if I have access to it, I'll read it. But yeah, I adore Given so much. And if you're a fan of Given, especially of the music, I highly recommend Brandon McInnes's covers of Given, or the Given songs. He did covers of basically all the main ones, and he has an original song. I'm inspired by it, and they are absolutely gorgeous. If you haven't listened to them, I highly suggest it. They're on Spotify and YouTube, I think. Got a question? Go ahead, ask away. What's my favorite anime? That is an excellent question, which I can easily answer because a couple weeks ago I actually did a anime tier list. So if you want more details on my favorite animes, you can go check out the VOD from a couple weeks ago. I did a anime tier list, but my favorite anime is one you have probably never heard of before. Maybe you have, but it's the This Boy collection, or Konodanshi, or whatever it is in Japanese. Yeah, I can pull it up. Okay, let me just hide this for a second while I find it. But yeah, no, come on, Google. Oh, you're not even Google. You're being on this web browser because I'm using my other web browser. That's fine. See if this thing takes me. Where is it? Sure, this works. These ones. So it's This Boy is Professional Wizard. This Boy's Professional Wizard is my favorite. So it's a collection of, it's essentially a collection of OVAs. So they're just single stories. This Boy suffers from crystallization. This Boy caught a merman. Whatever the other one is. But yeah. So that's my favorite anime. Yeah, it's a very little known collection, but they are absolutely gorgeous. I love them so much. They're very artistic, and then they also deal with really real things people go through in a really yeah, a really great way. And so This Boy's a Professional Wizard deals with not feeling good enough, not feeling worthy of love, and so kind of explores that. This Boy Suffers from Crystallization. It's kind of about social anxiety, and yeah, kind of learning, like, work through that. This Boycott a Merman deals with like grief and loneliness, so it's very cool. And yeah, the art style, it's very different. It does take some getting used to, but yeah, it's really, really pretty. So yes, that's my little hidden gem of animes. I absolutely adore them. So this boy's a professional wizard, and this boy suffers from crystallization. They're available on Amazon, so digitally on Amazon. Then I think this boy caught a merman's still available on High Dive, and this boy catches aliens, or whatever the first one was called. I don't like that one as much, but that one is on High Dive. So yeah, that is the other kind of annoying thing about this like collection, is High Dive has the rights to the first two, and then someone else has the rights to the other two. Oh, and the audio drama. There's also an audio drama. So this boy's a professional wizard, and crystallization and the audio drama are all sold as a set, and then the other two are separate. But yeah, there you go. That is my favorite anime. Little hidden gem that most people don't know about. Yeah, they're very cool shows. I love them so much. I need to watch them again. It's been a little while since I watched them, but yeah, they're very good. But yeah, I am a huge anime nerd. That's like all I watch. There has been like all I watch for the past like few years, so I've done one tier list, anime tier list, which was, what was it? It was like my top 7 anime, and then just a bunch of other random ones. And then I'm gonna do more anime tier lists in the future. In a couple weeks, I'm gonna do a boy love one, and then I want to do more because it's fun to talk about anime I love. Do you think there's a route in words that I could take to convince you to read my anime novel? I mean, it wouldn't be that hard. Well, I will give with the one caveat that I don't know how much, it would probably take me a while to read it because I have a lot of projects I'm working on at the moment. But I always like reading new anime stuff. Yes, if you would like to link your anime novel, if you have it up somewhere, you are welcome to. And I would at least look at it. I can't make any promises of when I would get around to reading it, especially depending on how long it is. I'm happy to look at it, and yeah, you can post a link in chat if you would like. But yeah, I have a lot of projects this month because I'm starting NaNoWriMo 2 weeks early because I'm going to lose 2 weeks in November. So I'm starting in the middle of October, and then I am hoping to make some cool stuff for some Halloween themed streams. But I need to start working on that if I'm going to make cool stuff for it. But yeah. Okay, number 43 in this list is pretty good. Only 9 chapters. Very nice. Okay. Would like a live reaction so we could talk about it. that would be a kind of that could be an interesting stream idea. People submitting writing and we talk about it. I would have to think about the logistics of doing something like that. But that is an option. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, if you want to look at it, I could take a glance at it and react to it. I wouldn't be able to give like detailed feedback or like read an extensive bit of it, but yeah, I mean, I'm happy to glance at it at least, skim over a little bit, and give just like an initial reaction, I guess, a very initial reaction, without like reading it in depth. I'm the cutest? Thanks, I guess. I just like stories and sharing stories and experiencing new stories. Yeah, so I like number 43 in this list. If your character wrote a nano novel, would they be a planner, a pantster, or a plantster? Again, not relevant for my character, but it's kind of a cute idea. It's like, if your character was in your shoes, how would they do it? Honestly, the way you went about accepting it was pretty adorable. Okay. Your character's a bit mean. That's okay. Okay, let me pull it up. There we go. I have too many windows. Let's see. Synopsis. That's a good place to start. A hopeless, narcissistic middle schooler, Johan has his quiet and lazy lifestyle interrupted by the devil himself. Having no choice but to do what it says, Johan is forced to dominate the whole world by any means necessary. However, because of his selfish, cruel, but lazy nature, he moves towards that goal by relying on cheating exams, manipulating others, and even committing crimes. Okay. Very good summary. I like it. Yeah, I know I need to watch Death Note. It's like on the top of my list of shows I need to watch that I just keep forgetting about. I really do need to sit down and just watch it at some point. The problem is they keep, you know, releasing new anime and then I get distracted. And yeah. Bad. But yeah, I do need to watch it. Yeah, one of these weekends I do need to just like sit down and just like binge watch a few shows, and yeah, Death Note was one of them. Okay, yeah, so synopsis. I really like your synopsis. It's really well written. It does make it seem like a very interesting story. Let me take a glance at the first chapter. Why don't I stream watching anime? I could. I just don't know if that'd be interesting to watch, because like I don't like talk when I'm watching shows, so I feel like it would be boring. Because basically you would probably either get just like complete silence or just like lots of squealing depending on the show. Because I do squeal with some shows. So I guess I don't know, some shows could be amusing, but I feel like most shows would be just like silence. So I don't know. It's something I've been considering doing, like a watch along stream. I might try it at some point. Hey, another new chatter. Welcome in, Ashy H. But yeah, I don't know. I'll consider doing a watch along stream. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, most of the like squealing, I will admit, does come from Beloved shows. And yeah, I probably should. What are we doing? Well, at the moment, we're just kind of chatting about anime and stuff. I am also taking a look at Johan's story and just giving like an initial reaction to it. And then what's on screen, or what I am also working on after around chatting, is I'm doing NaNoWriMo, National Novel Writing Month. So I'm starting my prep for that. So I'm essentially doing prep or novel prep. I'm just making like a worksheet of a character and world building questions so I can start developing stuff for my novel. And I think you are the first person to use the Discord command. I wrote it and no one has used it. Yeah, not currently at least. Because I just realized that text formatting in that command is off. Anyways, I like Gilded better. It's the same as Discord, but has some extra like features and layout and stuff that I like better. Although it sounds like Discord is starting to, you know, kind of copy Gilded a little. So if they do, I might switch. But yeah, right now I'm on the Gilded because I just like its formatting. Like the user interface is essentially the same as Discord, but different enough that I like it better. But yeah. And then as you say, you really should start to write more too. Yeah, writing's great. I love writing. I mean, I'm a writer. Half of the point of my channel is to like write and encourage people to write, stuff like that. Yeah, exactly. Discord isn't all that good, but everyone is on it. Yeah, that's the worst thing about Gilded, is that no one's on it yet. Like, I like it so much better. Like, it has more features, it has better, like, organization things, but no one's on it. So it's like, I get it, everyone's on Discord, but yeah. Yes, writing is definitely cathartic. Especially, yeah, some things. Sometimes. Especially so. But yes, so yeah. I'm a writer. I love writing. If you have writing questions, you may ask them and I will try to answer. And yeah, I do co-working streams 3 times a week. And they're not always writing, but they often are. And they will be in the coming months, being I'm writing a novel. I think if I'd start writing, it'd feel a bit fake because I can't read. That's fine. You can't read novels. I mean, that's fair. You can still be a writer if not read novels. Like I haven't read novels for like years now. Like lately, if I read at all, it's just fanfic, which admittedly some of those are the length of novels, but they're usually shorter. So yeah, definitely don't feel like you need to be a reader to be a writer. Like I feel like a lot of people say that, and it's true to an extent. Like reading does help you be a better writer, but you don't need to read like novels. Like reading fanfic is also valuable. Don't necessarily copy the writing skills of all fanfic, but there are some like, you know, really high quality fanfic out there that can be as useful, if not more useful, to a writer as like, you know, novels are. So yeah, don't feel bad if you're not a novel reader, because again, okay, I guess I did start reading a light novel this year, but yeah. Basically, the point is, yes, reading helps to being a writer, but you don't need to read to be a writer. Yeah, exactly. You've only read 4 chapters of one novel, and that's it, and yet everyone loves your novel. Exactly. You don't read. Yeah, reading is very slow, so it's difficult. Yeah, that's fine. Again, you don't need to read to be a writer. It's like it might help. It might give you like ideas of things to try. Like, yeah, exactly. You love having creative outlets. Yeah, do whatever you want. That's another great thing about writing is you can more or less, you know, do whatever you want with it. And yeah, it's like I read a lot of fanfic and I have gotten ideas from fanfic, but at the same time, there's, you know, lots of times where it's like my writing develops more just through writing. So yeah, it's like some people say, oh, read and you'll become a better writer. But it's like, no, write and you'll become a better writer. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, you can get your inspiration from anything. Real life, TV shows. Speaking of Classroom of the Elite, the new season just started. I should watch it. I watched the first season when it first came out. It was pretty good. I haven't watched the second season left though. Second season yet though. Anyways. Is it almost over? Probably. Yeah, it's another one of those shows where it's like, I kind of want to watch it, but I wasn't like I enjoyed the first season, but it's also not really the type of show I would normally watch. So it's like, basically, you know, the like 10 shows airing this season, there were, you know, 5 others that I found more interesting. I just kind of forgot about Classroom of the Elite. Okay, also I said 5, but it's more like 8 shows that I'm watching this season. Okay, that's not a dumb question. That's a good question. Is there a platform for fan fiction that isn't like based on a show? So like original fiction, but as accessible as fan fiction. To be honest, I haven't looked into that much. I know, I'm pretty sure AO3 has a original fiction category. So it's like they are mostly fan fiction based off of different things. I think there is an original fiction category. And I don't know what website this novel's on. So that's a very good question that I should actually look into, because I haven't looked into it that much. I've basically just posted fan fiction. But yeah. So yeah, I'm sure there are also more specific ones. I just don't have experience with that. So excellent question that I need to answer for myself because I haven't looked into it. Okay, Johan, I'm looking through the first chapter and I mean, I've just read like the first few paragraphs, but I'm really liking it so far. It's like I'm liking the writing style and everything too. So far, so good. I'll definitely need to read it more in detail. So yeah, so your hook is strong. Your summary was very good, and yeah, your writing is very good. That's like, okay, that seems like it This seems very promising. I'll need to read it more. So yes, good job. So far, so good. You got... I mean, honestly, that's one of the biggest hurdles that, like, a lot of writers have, is getting... Yeah, the original capture is very important. And yeah, you seem to have nailed that, so good job. Because yeah, I'm not going to read more of it now because I need to get other stuff done when I'm chatting and stuff like that. But I don't mind my chair making noise. But yeah, but I will definitely read it because yeah, it does seem interesting. So I will save that and read it later. Okay, number 44 on this list is great. What book does your character pretend to have read? That is a good question. Not relevant for the characters I'm writing, being there in like a fantasy world. I don't think that's going to be particularly relevant or informative. But that is a great question. I used to kind of pretend I read Shakespeare, but then I took 2 classes in uni on Shakespeare, so now I have read Shakespeare in detail. But that was one of those books, like, in high school and stuff. I'm like, oh, I want to be the person who reads Shakespeare. And then, you know, in uni I became the person who writes research papers on Shakespeare. What I think of his writing? I enjoyed it. I mean, it's a very different type of writing, obviously, because it's a stage play in, you know, a certain, like, beat pattern and, you know, in, like, Old English. So it's definitely a very different style of writing, but I enjoyed it. Except for Romeo and Juliet. I do not like Romeo and Juliet. I kind of hate Romeo and Juliet, especially after studying it. Yes, the Old English does make it very difficult to understand. And yeah, I think that's probably the biggest hurdle most people have, is because it's just, yeah, the English is weird. Give us short stories on one person compared them to his writings. I've never read any of them. I mean, I would take that, well, I would probably take that as a compliment to be compared to Shakespeare. I guess it depends on whether the person likes Shakespeare or not. But yeah, I mean, Shakespeare has some very, like, original, how would you phrase it? Like, well, phrases and stuff, and lots of plays on words, especially in, like, the comedies and stuff. Yeah, being compared to Shakespeare, definitely, it could be a compliment or it could be an insult. You could easily take it either way. So yeah, you would need more context to be able to tell if it's a compliment or not. But yeah, I mean, I enjoy Shakespeare. But it is challenging to read. Yes, that is true. Shakespeare is good with the sassiness, especially in the comedies, but even a bit in the histories and tragedies, because they also have comedic characters and stuff. Yeah, it has been a few years since I've read them. I should read them again. They're great. Except for Romeo and Juliet. I hate Romeo and Juliet. It's all body jokes, and it's just awkward and annoying teenagers. And it's like, I don't like it. After studying it properly, it's like, yeah. People make Romeo and Juliet seem like this great romantic show, or not show, but like story. And then you study it in detail, and you're like, this is not romantic, and it's all body jokes. And it's just really funny. Like, everyone thinks it's so romantic, and like, it's not romantic. Please don't. Yeah, it's it's an interesting situation when you actually study something and realize it's not what people normally make it out to be. Because, like, yes, it's true. Take it out of context. Romeo and Juliet is very romantic. But in context, it's really not. Okay, 47 on this list is great too. Your character's at a theme park. Where do they go first? This is just, again, a great, like, icebreaker question for, like, you know, real people. You're at a theme park. Where do you go first? What's your character's favorite name? That one's interesting. I don't think I could answer that for myself. My favorite name? What's the biggest compliment they'd give themselves? Ooh, that could be a very deep question. What's the biggest compliment your character would give themselves? Interesting. How does your character feel about bugs? Okay. Okay, so there are some fun questions in there, but I think... Oh my goodness, this list is so ugly. I need to change the formatting on it, but it's fine. Okay, so I have a very long list of, like, character questions, traits, and stuff. I really don't like the way this is formatted, though. How do I want to do this? Okay. I'm actually just gonna leave that less messy for now, I think. Yeah, okay. Let me see if I can remember how to do page break. Not like that. There we go. There's the hotkey for page break. So now we'll do the character section, and we'll do the world section underneath that. Oh. There we go, heading 1. Why do I want to... Kinda want to get this cleaned up. Very messy right now. Alright, go get some good sleep. I hope you sleep well, and thank you for stopping by. Thanks for the follow, thanks for all the nice chats. And yeah, I will definitely take a look at the novel. It looks interesting. Yeah, I hope you have a good day. Yeah. Or I guess a good night, unless you sleep during the day. You know what I mean. But yeah, thanks for stopping by. I hope to see you again soon. Okay, and now I need to decide how I want to organize this list, or if I need to organize it. I'm just like a jumbled mess of stuff right now. Okay. See, it looks nice with that little like short one-word things, and then I get to the long ones. I'm like, it's all messy. You know, I'm just gonna leave it. I can format it as I fill it in. Okay. Now I want to look at more like world building questions. So where was... Do I still have... Yes, I did keep the list up of 20 questions to ask yourself while world building. That's what I'll work on now. Let me... go ahead and pull it up. Let me hide the screen for a moment. I can... What? Oh. In theory, I will copy and paste the right thing. There we go. Yeah, so we'll go through... I'll pick some of these questions out to put in my list. Some of them I don't think will be relevant. We'll see. Okay, so how long your world has existed? It's a very interesting question. I don't know how relevant it is, especially in my story, but I'll put it on the list, partially just because it is a kind of interesting question. How did your world originate? That can be an important question, depending on the context of the story. What are some important historical events in your world? That is a rather, like, it's kind of an important one, but history is not my strong suit, as my brother likes to point out. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna like really dive into this aspect for this novel or not. Like, I don't think... I don't know. It's one of those, like, I probably should think about it, but at the same time, I don't know what it would be. I guess I'll put it on my list, because it could be an important thing, maybe, or it might not be. I don't think it will be for this novel, but it could be useful for like more extended world building, because I do want to like continue like exploring this world in more than just this little novel. So yeah, so that question might be, it might not answered for this novel, but it could be good to consider. Okay, this one's interesting. What is considered a cursed world in the world? It's definitely something I've never thought about before. But I also haven't done that much world building in any of my previous novels before. But I don't know. I also don't know if this'll... I don't think this will be relevant for this story anyways, because I think the premise is essentially going to be, it's a story from this other world that's essentially like translated into English. Oh, that's what needs to be on the list. What or is it on the list? No, it's not. What language do they speak? Because I don't think they speak English. So it's like, so essentially basically the idea I think will be like that the story is like translated from the language of this world. So, like, a question about, like, what is a curse word in this world wouldn't really translate anyways because they're speaking a different language. Thank you so much for the follow. Early. I'm horrible at pronouncing names. I'm sorry. Arlians? Feel free to correct my pronunciation. But welcome in. Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. If you don't know who I am, I'm June Wordweaver. I'm a word magic mage from another world who came to this world to build this virtual adventurers guild where people can hang out, have fun, get work done, learn new things. And yeah, so today I'm working on novel prep because I'm going to be attempting to write a novel in a month. And so I'm basically prepping a prep. So I'm making like a worksheet of like world building questions, which I will then answer for my novel in preparation for writing it. But yeah, welcome in. Feel free to chat, feel free to lurk, whatever you want to do. I hope you have a great time in the guild today. Okay, so yeah, so this number 4, well, it is an interesting question and could be useful in some context. I don't think it applies to the story I'm writing. Okay, this one's an interesting one. What holidays do they celebrate? See, this one, yeah, it's interesting one because holidays often are connected to some sort of like religious significance. But, well, I guess not always. Well, kind of. But, you know, to answer number 6, does this world have a religion? And the answer is no. But they could still have holidays, just based off of other stuff. I will put this on my list because it is something I haven't thought about. Like my impulse answer is like, oh, they don't have any holidays because they wouldn't have the same like religious connections with holidays. But there could be something else. Like there could be, I don't know, I feel like it'd be more like a harvest celebration type of thing. So maybe. Again, I don't know that that'll be relevant for this novel, so I might not actually explore it for this novel, but it could be something to think about for future stories in the same world. This one, I have explored this a bit. Whoops. The wrong button. There we go. In some of my initial world building. So there isn't. The answer is no. Does the world have a religion? No, but I would probably expand that a little bit when I actually type it up. And I'm gonna hide my screen for a sec while I figure out why the music stopped. That's why the music stopped. There we go. There we go. Okay. That's the wrong one. Okay, so that's just a continuation of 6. What resources are in your world? That's one thing I find kind of interesting about this question. It's like, so what resources are in your world, and then what are the imports, exports? That's like, I guess now kind of like, what are you defining as world? Unless you're like sci-fi and exports are off planet. Like a world is apparently in that context would be like a country. What resources are in your world? I don't know if that's necessarily relevant for the novel I'm writing. These type of questions would be important if, you know, if you had like country relations were an important part of the plot, or import exports would be an important part of the plot, but I don't think that kind of topic will ever come up, so I think I'm just gonna skip that one. This is another one where it's like, what's the structure of your world's government? Again, that's important, but like history, politics are also my weak point. So I tend to try to avoid dealing with history and government structures as much as possible because I don't know much about them. It's a weak point, but it is kind of an important question. And government can mean different things. Like in mine, it'd probably be more. It'd be more of like a tribal hierarchy type of thing. Probably what government would mean. Well. Okay, actually not necessarily. Okay, that is something I need to think about. Is it all tribal? Or is there more like monarchies, that type of thing? Okay. That is a good question that I need to think about. Geography and climate. That is an important one. And, you know, as someone who has degrees in atmospheric science, it's both a blessing and a curse when you're trying to be a writer, because you can go into, I could go into so much details about the climate of a world and like calculate all the things, which is really excessive and sometimes distracting. But it is important to at least have a basic idea of climate and geography. It's a questions like, what are the seasons? It's like, it would be fun like make different seasons, but as, you know, an atmospheric science nerd, I would then have to like do so many calculations. So the seasons in this world are just gonna be normal seasons because I don't want to calculate new seasons. It's basically how I deal with that in like basically all my stories. The seasons are what we're used to because I don't feel like calculating different ones. But yeah, calendar system. That is a good question to answer. I'm guessing, well actually I don't know for this one how I'm gonna divide up time, because basically it's a world of immortals, so they like track time differently. Like they don't like keep track of like birthdays and years in the same way. So I'm actually not sure. I might do something a little more exciting or interesting with the calendar system. Because the last novel the latest novel I'm working on, or the last novel, my previous novel, that's still a work in progress. There we go. That one has a unique calendar system in that all the months have the same number of days. So it's basically our calendar system, but made more lazy. But for this novel, I might do something different. I might make a completely different calendar system. Because that could be interesting. We'll see. Oh yeah, and this one is fun. What are the distances between important places? And also, I would add on to this, what's the travel time between important places? That can also be very important for pacing in a novel. If your characters are doing a lot of traveling, it helps to calculate the distances and then make at least an estimate of travel time. You can then calculate the passing of time more accurately. I've done that for 2 novels now, and it's also just, I find it a lot of fun doing all the maps and maths to figure it all out. Social structure, that is a important one to have. I think it's gonna be pretty basic, at least for this novel. I think this novel is gonna be more or less set in kind of a tribal setting. I think I need to think about it more, but that's where I'm leaning towards. Like, there could be different, social structures in various parts of the world, but I think for this novel, I think the character, well, it's not necessarily. They can at least start at kind of like a tribal village type of setting, I think. Maybe, unless I change my mind. So yeah, we need that question in there. Oh, they do have the language question in this list. It's just down really far. And then this is an interesting question, but I don't think I'll put it on. What are some details you can use from real world places that are similar to make it feel more believable? I guess I get what that question's asking and why it would be useful, but I also don't think it's gonna be useful. This one, what does your world smell like? I'm gonna put it on the list just because it's such an interesting question that I'd never considered before. I don't think it's gonna be particularly helpful or relevant, but it is an interesting question. Oh yeah, food. I haven't thought about the food. I've never really thought about the food in any of the stories I wrote, or stories I've written, so don't know if I'm gonna bother with that one, but it's an interesting one. I also think it's kind of interesting how this list has what are the limitations of power, energy, or magic. I feel like there needs to first be a question saying what are like sources of power, energy, and magic. I'm gonna put that up in here. Whoops, if I can spell magic. There we go. You list out what the sources are and then explore what the limitations are. Okay, so this one's kind of interesting. Basically, what are things that are familiar with people and what are strange or outlandish? I don't really know how I would answer this question. I don't know, I feel like it's a little too like broad and open-ended, so I think I'm gonna skip that one. Okay, let me see if there are any others I was thinking I want to add. Okay, I know I had other things I was thinking I needed to think about. What were they now? Oh. I just realized a kind of obvious one that's not on the list is like, what is the technology level of the world? I'm kind of surprised that one's not on the list. Okay, I think that's kind of a weird way to phrase it, but it gets the point across. I guess maybe it would be say, what kind of technology does the world have? Technology level works. This list is for me, mostly, so it gets the point across. Okay. Or like, what? No, I just realized. What types of technology? What types of technology? There we go. What types of technology does the world have? Then education system, that could be important. And also related to like, what's the literacy rate of the world? That's kind of part of what the education system is. Okay, I'm actually going to format this section like I did the other, where there's just a line break between each thing, because that looks better. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's see. Okay, any other world building questions? Hmm. Oh, I know another one for the characters. What is their like personality type? Oh. That's a fun question. Oh, another fun question. I don't know if I'll use it, but what how do I want to phrase this? What do they take with them when they leave the house? Like, do they take the bare minimum? Do they take a book? Do they take, you know, a survival kit? Could be a fun little question. I don't know if this will be relevant for this story, but could be useful. When it's the biggest struggle or obstacle most people in the world face. So, example, is it like a world that constantly struggles with a food shortage or something like that? So there's some. Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna really apply for the novel I'm writing, but that could be a useful world building question. Okay. What else do I need? What else do I need to think about with either characters or the world? I guess I could also do a section for like plot points and genre, I guess you could say. What did I do? There we go. Let's call this one plot, basically. Genre. Let me see. Like story type / subgenre. So like, for example, it could be like fantasy, and then subtype is, wait, what did I do? Subtype is like a coming of age story. That's kind of what I mean by that. Okay, somehow put plot before world building. That's fine. The main source of conflict. Yeah, main conflict source. Let's see. What else? Why is it not holding? No, it's holding the fact that it's bold. Let's do main plot points. Flash events. Okay, actually, I do want to reorganize this. I mean, really, a poly should be world building, then character building, then plot. Well, not necessarily. I don't know. I feel like you do sometimes kind of have to do kind of all of these at once, so I guess it doesn't really matter the order. And it also doesn't matter the order. You can start at any place. Okay, let's see. Are there any other things for me to put in this section? Actually, I'm gonna put a section here for list of characters. That could be useful to have just a list of characters. I'm going to do ending goal, which is basically kind of like where you want the story to end type, like that's what I mean by ending goal. So it's like it might not be the character's goal because they may or may not reach their goal. Maybe we'll do ending, well, goal / target. Like where does the story need to get to? Yeah, we'll do that. And then obviously if you have where the story ends, you might as well have where the story starts. I'm gonna reorganize this slightly. Once I have the start and end, we'll put the middle in there. There we go. So in some ways this is like a really kind of like brief overview. A very broad nutshell, if you will, of the whole story. So the genre, subgenre, characters, and then start, middle, end, basically. I could also put title, which honestly I probably won't write ahead of time. I mean, I think for NaNoWriMo you kind of need a working title, but I often write titles last because I'm not very good at titles. Okay, but anything else that I need in this list. Another kind of obvious world building question is what... how do I phrase this? Like, what races are in the world? Yeah. Looks like, are there elves? Are there humans? Dwarves? Combination? Dragon people? That type of thing. Okay. I think I have a pretty good list going here. I may add to it as I'm filling it out. I may come up with things that I feel like need to be added to it, so I might do that. But I think I'm good with where this is right now. Got all the main points I can think of. So, yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and end the stream here. I've been streaming for almost 4 hours now. So we are gonna hop on over. But yeah, thank you everyone for spending some time in the guild today. Thanks for all the new follows. It means a lot. We're gonna go raid Supernatural Writer, who's doing more writing co-working stream stuff. If you would like to use... I don't have my raid message button. Why? Okay, I messed around with my stream deck and did not get all my buttons inputted. Anyways. Yeah, we're gonna go raid Supernatural Writer. They're doing writing things. But yeah, thank you everyone for hanging out. Hope you had a good time. I will be back tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Pacific time, playing some more Cult of the Lamb, because I love that game. But yes, thank you for hanging out. I said it like 3 times. My brain is soup. Anyways, hope you have a great rest of your day. Go say hi to Lillian and Supernatural Writer, and I will see you next time.